My name is Tim Mousseau, and I am a speaker, survivor of sexual assault, researcher, and advocate around this issue.
Because you see, what you don't know about me, what you can't tell by looking at me, is that I am a male survivor of sexual assault. And that's a part of my story. And so today, when I say that we're going to retake our story, what I mean is that we are going to change the way we're having conversations around this topic. Because right now, the way that we talk about this conversation is wrong. Right now, the way that we talk about sexual assault in the country is pretty broken. Oftentimes, we're not talking about it until someone in our life experiences it. And oftentimes, we're not having conversations around it until it's too late. And when we do it in a way that it's still a stigma attached to it, so that when I tell people that I'm a survivor of sexual assault, I get a look like I did something wrong, even though someone else chose something for me. Or like it's somehow my fault that someone did that to me. Right now, we don't talk about this topic the right way, and if we can't talk about something, if we can't tell the right story around something, then how can we expect to fix it? Because no one should ever have to go through what I went through, whether it's being sexually assaulted or what comes afterwards.
Throughout the past few years, I have spoken with hundreds of thousands of college students, first responders, and professionals at over 250 programs across the country. Throughout my work, I help individuals understand how they can use their personal story as a means of preventing sexual violence.
I will never forget the moment that I opened that envelope, because inside were pictures of me being sexually assaulted. I remember opening the envelope, looking at the photos, crumpling them in my hand, and making it as far as the front door of the office before I collapsed on the ground. Up until that day, I had no idea that was a part of my experience. Based on the fact that I have tattoos, we know beyond a reasonable doubt that it's me. Based on my tattoos, we know that it likely happened when I was roughly 20 to 21 years old. And based on how lifeless my body looks in the photos, we know that I was likely drugged.
I believe passionately in what I do because I don't want anyone to ever have to experience any form of sexual violence. And for individuals who do have experiences with sexual violence or sexual assault, I want them to be properly supported in their communities, knowing that they have a space to safely process and recover from this trauma. As a result of my work, I want to end sexual violence.
In all the letters that I received after the photos, one has always stood out to me. Because in that letter, the person mocked me. And they talked about the fact that if anyone had been paying attention, that they could have been stopped. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, this will always be my story. I will always be a survivor of sexual assault. And anyone could have changed that. So my only question for you is, what's your story going to be? Thank you.